Hi, fans of high quality live chats. So
Hello, everybody.
I'll wait a couple minutes here to see,
Yeah,
hopefully, some
yeah.
people show up. So
Oh,
far, there's nobody watching worse,
I'm sure the usual suspects will be showing up.
hopefully. So, anyway, Morris and I have, I think we'll continue this, but, like a CD exchange online. I was kind of thinking of maybe getting a couple more people involved. And it'd be fun to do this every week or even every 2 weeks, so more of a chance to listen. But I'd like to
Mm.
do it with two other people, and you and me, and we just every week we present a CD, and the others have to listen to it, type thing, or I don't know, have to figure it out.
Yeah, think about that for sure. But I like that idea because
Yeah.
I like discovering new music for sure.
So Morris is going to review an album that I sent him called Can Tago Mago. It's a little
Mhm.
different. It's what
Side
band
two.
would you describe, like Kraftwerk a bit?
Hmm.
It's like krautrock, rock, Uh, yeah, Kraftwerk or oh, there's Nicholas. He
Hey,
scared
Nick.
me. He said boo.
Mhm.
And what
Hello.
what Morris gave me to listen to, I don't have the physical copy of it, but I listened to it on Spotify 3 times, is Frank Black from the Pixies and his first solo album. And there's Ethan.
Hello,
Hello.
Ethan.
And then tomorrow, I'm going to do a pre recorded with Adam from What's the Gym. And we're going to be ranking the songs on George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, excluding the live jam. And I'm not sure when I'll post that, but we're going to record it tomorrow. And
And
Morris,
I'll be listening to that tonight on Spotify, so I'm up to date. So when you guys do that, and I want to watch for sure.
yeah,
And that way there give me an opportunity to catch up on that.
yeah, and show the people the CD you just got. I think what, today or yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, yeah. Oh yeah. Pet sounds, absolutely. So you said Frank Black has a connection with this?
Yep, yep. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you in a minute. Douglas Gilbert, hello, Larry and Morris.
Hey Doug.
Okay, so I'll tell you now about Frank Black. I got the track listing here. Just give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, like I said, I've listened to the album 3 times, and being honest, I wasn't that excited about because I don't know Frank Black, except for the Pixies, which I do like, but I wasn't really,
Hmm.
excited to listen to it. But I thought, you offered me the album, I've got to listen to it, and so I'll give you my opinion of it in a minute. But anyway,
Hmm.
Frank does 15 songs. I'll just see the lyrics here. I'm in the comments. Hell yeah, Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds, never heard of it. Hi, Larry and Morris.
Hey,
And
music cat
there
lover.
we go. Okay, so Frank Black does 15 songs on the album, Morris. And when I heard the third song, Hang On to Your Ego, it sounded
Mhm.
very familiar because
It's a
it
cover
is
song.
it is the Beach Boys song, but it's not called Hang On to Your Ego on Pet Sounds because I think it was Mike Love didn't like the lyrics about ego. So Brian Wilson changed it to, where is it here? I know there's an answer. So it's basically the same song.
Oh,
Yeah. So
well,
you'll recognize it. Yeah.
that's gonna be cool? Because yeah, yeah. Actually, that's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
It is my favorite song on the album. I love the energy. I love the way he sings it.
Yeah. Yeah, too druggy, but
No, I think it's
but it's
perfect.
still the same melody and everything and some of the same words. It's
Cool. That's
except
cool. That is really cool. I like that.
okay. So, do you want me to go first with my review?
Please.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Um so I knew of Frank Black and I done you said I did one reaction on Patreon, right? I don't remember it too much,
Hmm.
but I have done other reactions on Patreon with the Pixies, and I did have their Doolittle album at one point, which I really did like. I should not have sold it, I guess. Um, other than that, I don't know. I didn't know much about him. I wasn't that interested in him, his solo
Hmm.
career. So the very first time I played Frank Black, his debut album, from start to finish with headphones, I loved it, Morris. I seriously, I was so impressed with it. I almost wanted to order the album on the first listen. I thought, no, don't go crazy, Larry. Give it another listener. I listened to it 3 times in total. So I listened to it the next night. I listened to it again. I loved it as much, if not more. I ordered it, Morris, and it should be in by the end of December.
Right on.
I'm still getting used to all of the songs. There's 15
Mm,
songs, right? So like just seeing the songs on here, like Two Spaces, I don't remember what it sounds like, but
mm,
every song was so good. I loved his vocals. I love the variety of all of the songs. Even the first song, Los Angeles, right? There's
mm,
like 4 or 5 different genres in that song alone. There's even a little bit of prog. I hear a little bit of prog in it, right?
mhm.
And some of the
And some of the songs for me reminds me just a little bit like just the style of songs reminds me of something that Sparks would have wrote.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I hear like musically, I hear a little tiny bit of Sparks in there.
And I hear some more like later Ween when they were more professional. Uh,
Mm,
it's like some Ween albums. It's like every song is a different genre. That's kind of the way I look at this Frank Black album. And some of it's heavy, some of it's like poppy. It's
mhm,
just so good, the variety of it. And so I see like we're gonna rate these out of 10.
mhm. Yeah,
And I like I told Morris when we do these reviews, totally honest. There might be a day he gives me an album or somebody gives me an album, and I'll be honest, I'll say I don't like it.
mhm.
But I give this album, just from listening to it 3 times in a row, a 10 out of 10, Morris.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've become, I'm definitely gonna check out his second album at least, and maybe get that Pixies Doolittle again. But
yeah.
yeah, it was great. 10 out of 10.
I knew you love it because as soon as I heard it that first time, I'm like, that is just up your alley. It has every little twist and turn, and to
Yeah.
make the journey exciting.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
like a straight
boring.
road.
It's never boring. It's
No,
yeah,
no. I never get tired of listening to it. I've listened to that I've listened to this so
yeah.
many times. It just never gets boring.
And
Love it.
even I think there's one instrumental. Even the instrumental is
The
really
instrumental kicks
interesting, right?
butt.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, and somebody's with a 10. Somebody else gave, yeah, if anyone out there has heard Frank Black, give it a rating out of 10.
Yeah, definitely a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I would think anybody that likes, it's not challenging music really, right? It's just really good. There's elements of new wave. There's a little bit of acoustic music in it. Uh,
And I like that the first time you don't know where it's going to
oh
go.
yeah, yeah,
You don't know where it's going to go. It's so exciting that first time, and you're like, like what the like he has like three different types of voices that he uses during the whole album.
yeah,
It's like it's mind-boggling, like how good that album is. Yeah.
Yeah. And the production is excellent, Morris. Like it sounds so good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my review for Frank Black. And
Right on. That is
we
cool.
do after we do this review,
Mm-hmm.
we'll stay around for a bit and we'll chat and talk about whatever the viewers want to talk about.
Yeah,
So your
absolutely. I
turn
like
now.
that.
Tell the viewers about your history with Can first. I guess.
Well, uh, from a suggestion by you, the first one I ended up getting was Future Days, and I loved it right away. And with Future Days, it's much more of a relaxing kind of just a cool little vibe. Once you put it on, I mean, I love how like with Future Days itself, I love how the drum beat comes into it. You know, it's yeah, it's very relaxing and very good. I enjoy. I played it a lot too. I have played this a lot, and I need to play this a little bit more, but I still really love it. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
that
so
might be my
Monster Movie
favorite
was the second one I got
monster movie.
with You Do Right,
Yeah.
which is has a bit of a Tool flow,
Oh yeah.
said it was, and I do hear the Tool in there for sure. And yeah, yeah, it's a great album. I also had bought the singles. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I was playing Tago Mago, right when it came to Mushroom, I'm like, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Why is it so familiar? It's like because it's also on
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
you know. And so is the fourth song, Hallelujah. So it has two songs from there. So it's like I've heard those one before. I just didn't realize, you know. It's like, of course they are. All right. So what do I think of this? I really like it. I really like it. I love the four first songs,
Yeah.
especially the last songs. The two crazy songs,
Yeah.
number 6 and number 7, I
Yeah.
still really do love them, but they're such a weird experimental kind of thing that it's not like a typical song you put on to relax to or anything. It's something that it goes into a weird place, and I mean, I
Especially the vocals, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Well,
it goes a
my
little nuts.
actually okay, my favorite song on here is "Oh Yeah." I give that a 10 out of 10 absolutely because I like the weird way he's singing it. Now, I'm suspecting something, okay? This is just my take on it from what I could figure out from what intense listening. It sounds like it's in three different parts with the vocals. The first part is in reverse. Sounds as like actually
Yeah.
reverse. You can even hear it with
Yeah.
the
It's
symbol.
so cool. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
backwards. And then when you get to the second part, I think he's singing it in English, but really weird and sensualizing certain words so
Yep.
that when they do play it backwards, it sounded, almost the same ish. And then the third time around, it's like he's trying to sing the uh the backwards part, but normal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing,
Plus, I
but
think
it's like, is
like
he
somebody
really
said
doing
here,
that, or am I crazy?
he's singing in Japanese too sometimes, right? Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense because it's like the pronunciation is so like interesting and so weird, but I love it as like and the rhythm that goes with it. It's just I don't know. This could I think this might be my favorite album. Like
Yeah.
it's such a toss up between the two. I can't really decide which one's more or better.
Yeah.
I really do like this. I really do like this. Even the
But
weird songs,
yeah,
but you
but
have to be in the mood for it. Like if I put this on, I'm never gonna fast forward those. I mean, I'll give this. Yeah. Well, I mean, these are both tens out of tens. Okay, I will give them 10 out of 10 because I do love them. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to describe. I liked them. I liked them kind of equally for different reasons.
yeah,
Because this one is more of a laid back, relaxing. It's a nice
that's
vibe.
a good first album for people to check out Can with
It
because
is. It's
nothing too crazy.
it's the
Yeah.
perfect first album. I'm glad I got introduced when I did with this one because I think, yeah, I think if I went into this without any idea of how strange those songs were, I don't know. I felt probably would have loved it
Yeah.
because I'm into strange and weird things. It does have a Tool vibe because
Yeah.
even some of the Tool songs I have kind of go in that kind of weird, strange, ethereal type of noise, you know, kind of thing. So I can sort of relate to it. I can.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
Yeah,
I,
it
I
looks like
think
the
I
cover
think
kind of looks like a figure, and
yeah.
that's his brain. All the stuff is fuzz in the brain, and that's what's coming out of his mouth.
Trying
Is
to
fuzz
speak.
that's in
Yeah.
his brain.
Yeah. That's cool. But that peaking
I like it.
O, right? The there's a point
Yeah,
where the singer just goes absolutely nuts, right? I love that. And it's actually funny
I
too,
do
right?
like
Some
it.
of it.
It is funny. Yeah, it is funny. But I can see how it freaked people out listening to
Yeah.
that for the first time, not having any clue.
Yeah, it's not for everybody for sure, right? Like
No, it's not for everybody, but I'm into weird stuff, when it comes to music, and no, this is right up my alley. It is. Like
so would you
I
say
want to get more. I definitely want to get more albums for sure.
so would
I
you
was even
say
looking for some albums. Mhm.
would
All
would
they
you
have
say that Tago Mago is the weirdest album you've heard, or is there something weirder that you've heard than that?
it's in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the pod is pretty weird
Yeah.
too. and and I don't know what else was I gonna say. Yeah, maybe I would throw in my Dick Hyman Moon Gas in there as being a little weird, but it's not as weird as this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is probably the weirdest. This and the Pod are the two weirdest albums I have.
So
Yeah,
when
I would
you
have to say that for sure.
so when you heard Tago Mago for the very first time and the weird stuff near the end, what did you think of it
Mhm.
then? Like the very first time?
The very first time, well, I it brought yeah, well, I liked it. I did like it. Like it kept my interest. I was thinking to myself, is this something I could listen to,
Yeah.
like, as an album, like, or is it just the first part that I really like? But no, no. And once you play it, especially the second and third time, well, I played this at least 7 times
Yeah.
since I got it. Okay, I played it 7 times, 3 times in the earphones. Just to get a good. I really wanted to get a good beat on this, and every time it got better and better and better and better and
Yeah.
better. But I did like it the first time. I
Yeah.
was just not sure about the like even track number 6.
Yeah.
Not number 6, number 5. Og,
Yeah.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
pronounce
It's
that.
cool with the voices, right? It's kind of freaky, like
I, I
scary.
I I do like that one better. Even at 17 minutes, I still kind of like it better, a little bit better than Peking O.
Yeah.
I like. I mean, Peking O is my least favorite song on the album,
Yeah.
but the 4 first songs and the last one, "Bring Me Coffee or Tea," those really make the album like more stable, and more approachable. If they would have started with those 2 weird songs, yeah, that would have turned people off the album right away.
Yeah.
People wouldn't have yeah.
Douglas here says, "What did you think?" Yeah, there's I forget what song it is, but there's dogs barking with the drumming that
Yeah,
it's like out of the blue that comes in, right? It's so
yeah, that's right. That's right.
freaky.
That's right. Uh, you know,
Two
it,
of my fave human beings, Morse. Thank you.
hey, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. I mean, well, you know what it can, and I brought this out. I took this out because it sort of reminded me of this in a weird way, and this came out first. when I think of Umagama,
Yeah.
with the weirdness of that, of course they had to make the first album a live album, you know, to
Yeah.
to, to again to balance everything out and making everything not so weird.
Yeah.
Because if that would have been the first album, it is still the studio. It says the studio album. So that's the album, the actual album,
Yeah.
and but connected with a live album. You get to number 6. I still don't know about that one. Several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pick. Such a
I
long
find it hard
title.
to dance to, Morris.
I mean,
Oop,
how often would I mean? I don't know how often I'm going to play that second disc. I mean, I don't really find it interesting. I mean, I love it, love it, love it for the first disc, of course. But the I don't know. I'm not really into the second the
Yeah.
studio album. I mean, the first part's okay, but when it gets to that, I'm just finding it like I understand it's 1969, the flower power,
There might have been
summer of
drugs involved,
love.
Morris.
Yeah,
Ruby.
Ruby pick. I
And
don't
then
know.
Ethan says it was
It's
kind of
just a little
boring.
weird for me. I actually kind of like that a whole lot better than I do with the studio album here. Just goes to show how much I actually really do like this. Yes, it is creative. You're right. It is creative. Mhm.
Frank Black, I know. The other artist, I haven't got a clue.
Really, you should check him out.
Yep.
Yeah, you should check him out. If you like weird music, it is actually pretty good music.
Weird, good music. But
Yes,
it's not
yes,
actually, it's
exactly.
not all weird, right? Like that
No,
there
no, no. I don't consider those first 4 songs and that last song weird. I don't. I think they're much more normal, approachable, more well balanced songs. I mean, it was a double album, as you said, right?
yeah.
So yeah. Again, if you're making a double album, and as long as you put a lot of like, approachable material on your second disc, you can do whatever you want. There should be no limits. Oh, also, I listened to all 3 of those Frank Zappa CDs I got. They're the
Mhm.
Halloween ones.
Yeah.
I really like them, and they really show the era of when they were made.
Yeah.
Like the 73 one sounds like 73. The
Yeah.
77 one sounds like 77,
Yeah.
and the 81 one sounds like Steve Vai.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, if you want to dance, I don't want to dance. I suggest all the James Last Orchestra albums. James was yeah, I know. I've heard of James Last, yeah. But I'm not going
Yeah.
to buy any of his albums.
No.
You don't want to make a double album like Metal Machine Music. Trust me. No. You would
I,
not like Metal Machine Music by Lou Reed, Morris.
I haven't heard it before.
It's all just guitar feedback.
Really? Yeah.
It's a double album, just
Um,
all guitar feedback.
how would you make that interesting
It is
for
interesting,
2 albums?
but I've only listened to it all the way through once.
Huh. I've never heard it. No.
Have you heard the Velvet Underground at all?
Oh yeah, I've heard not much of it though. A few songs here and there.
I think you would like them. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I do like Lou Reed. The stuff that I did hear from him, I always liked it. But I
What do
guess
you
not really enough because I did send you that DVD.
Yeah.
you know,
What do you
because I
guys
because
think
it
of
just
last
I knew I wouldn't be playing it often enough.
yeah.
It would be sitting there. Other stuff I would play more.
Okay, a question. What do you guys think of Les Rita? How do you say that last name there?
Mitsuko, Rita Mitsuko.
All
That
I
why
know
does
is
that
that
name sound
Sparks
familiar?
song, uh, something in the shower,
Yeah, singing in the shower.
singing in the shower. Yeah,
It's
that's
Sparks,
all I
isn't it?
know. Yeah, that's with Sparks. Yeah,
Yes, yes, that's why I recognize that name. Yep.
yeah. I don't know the truth to that. When I
Wouldn't
heard
surprise me.
Umaguma and the song "The Narrow Way" in that song, it sounds like Black Sabbath. And at that time, I didn't even know about Black Sabbath.
Hmm. I do need to listen to it again, though. I think I've only listened to the whole album twice. Umaga, of Umagama. I do
Yeah.
need to listen to it more. And same with the other ones, especially the ones that you sent me. I need to listen to those more because I do like those. Those are pretty good. Hmm.
So we'll have to do this again. Do you have another album in mind for the? I'm not sure
Uh,
when. Like it'll be in the new year, but
yeah, yeah. In the new year, that'd be perfect. Uh, yeah, I might have something. I have to think about that first, but I think I'm probably have something because me. If I give you an album, I want to give an album that I think that you're going to love, and that's always been that's always my goal to give you stuff that I know you're going to love. I don't want to give you crap, of course,
no.
never. So I'll figure something out. I have a couple of ideas.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm thinking of doing, in the new year, maybe do an online CD exchange with two or three other YouTube channels, Morris, and then
Mm,
one or two other channels. It'd be fun.
yeah, yeah. I love doing these. These are fun for me. You know,
Mm.
any opportunity I get to go live with Larry, I'll take it. Definitely.
That's a good idea. Larry, you should give Morris the Shags next time. Have you heard the Shags?
No, no. I'm kind of scared too.
Yeah. You might seriously actually
I know.
enjoy it with Monty. Yeah, maybe.
Mm,
Although I don't know what he
yeah,
likes to
yeah.
play
If he's
guitar.
up for it, I really like Monty. I wish he would make some more videos
Larry, a couple of weeks ago, I heard Sparks on the radio. Angst in My Pants on Deep Tracks. Yeah, that's a great song. Cool.
on the radio. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I wouldn't think you hear that on the radio nowadays.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I'm so happy that you really like the Frank Black.
yeah,
I
yeah.
yeah, that makes me
I
really
ordered
happy.
it, people.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
You know what else I got yesterday? I got some CD inner sleeves,
Yes.
100 of them.
Yeah, I saw that. I just watched that video before
Yeah,
coming here.
yeah.
That was the last video I watched before joining in here. Yeah, I might have to do that too with some of my CDs. That's a good idea.
Anyone like the Split Ends? Never heard them get talked about. Yeah, I used to buy their albums in the, like, I guess the 80s. You know the
Yeah, I
song I
don't
Got
know that.
You? I got you. That's all I want. I can't feel it. You would
Okay.
know it if you heard it.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure I would.
6 months in a leaky boat.
Again,
You
so
might know
many
that.
bands I still don't know and haven't heard. Weird. There's so much music out there.
Stephen Schnee, you want to come on, Stephen? Let me know. My first phone interview was with Frank Black when he was promoting that album. That is so cool, Stephen.
That is very cool.
You should come on and talk to us about it. Don't be shy.
Hmm.
Let me know. I'll send you the link. Yeah, the Finn brothers. Yeah, they're brothers too.
Uh-huh.
Split Ends box set.
Hmm.
Yeah, Split Ends. Check out Stephen Schnee's channel, the CD Junkie.
I try to catch. I try to catch an episode here and there when I can. I do.
There's too many YouTube channels. That's what I think.
Way too many. Way too many. But it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yep, Split Ends were the runners to Crowded House. You need to get outer sleeves to go with the inner sleeves. They are great.
Mm.
Send me the link. Oh no, he's going to join us. I was just joking.
No, it'd be fun.
Jeepers. Now he wants me to. Let me see here. Presenter invite. Invite guest. Copy. All right. This is for Stephen Schnee. Yeah. Australia. How about Talking Heads, Morris? You heard them at all?
I've heard them, yeah, but I would need to hear more. I only heard maybe more popular stuff. But everything I've heard, I loved.
Have you talked to Stephen Schnee before on a live chat?
No.
Oh,
nope.
You're in for.
I watched him a few times on your channel and with Grant's Warehouse.
Yeah.
Grant's Rock Warehouse.
I find him really annoying, but I like him being on my channel, right? I've only heard 2 Talking Head albums, and they were great. Yeah, I love Talking Heads.
Yeah,
Morris, if you ever see Fear of Music in a CD store, you should, used or whatever, you should get it because I think
I will be. I'll be looking for that. Yeah, I know. I need to get some Van der Graaf generator. What I have heard, I liked. So, and I have checked out a little bit here and there. I have, and I do like them, and will want to get some eventually for sure. There's so many albums I want to get. I actually want to get some Gentle Giant too. I want to get. I need to get more King Crimson and King Gizzard. So much music out there. I need to get into more.
Yeah. Van der Graaf Generator is an interesting band to me. The lead singer kind of sounds like David Bowie. It's Stephen Schnee. Even after all the insults, he's joining us.
Yeah. This is weird because I've been banned from your channel for months.
I have to reblock you.
Yeah, I know. Dang. Happy holidays, gentlemen.
Thank you, Stephen. It's really seriously nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
And you can join any of my live chats after you send me some money through PayPal.
Well, I appreciate you sending me the $20 to get me to come up here and liven it up a little bit.
Anyway, tell us your story about Frank Black. That's cool.
Well, you see, I was working. I just started working for the distributor, and I had brought up
Stephen. Don't make it one of these long, dragged out, half-hour stories, though.
Oh no, that's what it's going to be.
I'm interested.
Come on, I got to throw all this fun into it. I got to interject a little bit of excitement into this stream.
Absolutely.
No. I had approached the company that I worked for about doing interviews for their weekly mailer because they'd never done them. And they said, okay, well, we'll go ahead and do it. And I think that the first one that I may have done might have been, no, this is even before that. So the first one I did, and they said, let's do Frank Black. Right. And of course I was, Pixies and everything. And I mean, I wasn't a huge fan, but they had sent me in advance of the Frank Black album, which I loved.
Yeah.
And so I went ahead and got on the phone, and I was nervous as hell
Yeah.
because you know, I'd never done a phone interview. Now I've done plenty of interviews like since then, but I mean, I've done like 400.
Sorry to interrupt you, but is it kind of similar to any time you're on a live chat with me and you're so nervous because it's me?
I told you I'm only going to come up if you don't interrupt me, Larry. So I'm going to ignore what you say. Anyway, those are fake glasses on both of these guys, by the way. Neither of them need to wear glasses.
I need these for this. Look, I'm cross-eyed. Anyway, sorry. Go on with your story.
No, and I got on the phone with him and we had a chat. And about halfway through, I said, well, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I normally have a tendency to trip over my words and stutter because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
Because my brain's always working either way behind or way forward. Never right on time. So, you know, I told him, I said, well, this is my first phone interview. And he says, hey, you're doing great or whatever. And then it ended up that we just started talking about when he was on tour. And then he goes, well, next month I'm going to Holland. And I said, oh, you got to check out the band, the Knits. You got to check, you know, so I was giving him recommendations and you know, he said he was jotting them down. But then he says most of the stuff he actually listened to was, you know, when they'd be on tour and he'd go into the gas stations and truck stops and stuff. And back here, you know, they were still selling cassettes at those places. So he said he would just grab things like country compilations and, you know, things like that just to have something to listen to. And he, you know, that's how he'd sort of, you know, sometimes he'd buy Dutch compilations or whatever, just to hear what's going on, you know, or what people are normally listening to. So, but yeah, he was really, really super cool. And I've had, like I said, hundreds, probably 400 interviews since then, both for my work and then for my podcast and for, I used to have a fanzine that I co-edited. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. The Knits are one of my favorite bands ever. I even had a fanzine that I co-edited. And I would, you know, we would do interviews there as well. But most of those were email interviews. You know, this is before, you know, a lot of the, or heck, it was before, this was 97 to 99. So this is before all of the social media stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun. But then, you know, I've done, I've actually interviewed Hank Hofstede from the Knits, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. So it's really fun to do those interviews, as you know, Larry, to interview artists. But I always think to myself, I'm always nervous beforehand because I always think this could be the one that blows up. This could be the one that just falls apart. And out of all the interviews that I've done, like I said, and I'm not saying this as bragging because I've done 400 interviews and still people don't even know me in the music journalism world, which means I'm not doing a good job. But out of 400, I mean, I've talked to some amazing people and none of them have gone bad. The only things that go bad is when I appear on your show.
It all goes downhill. You lose subscribe. Oh, he's on Larry's channel. Unsubscribe.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So who? That's really cool. So who would be maybe your top 3 interviews?
You mean as in people, or how it went, or
just your favorite interviews? Yeah.
Well, one of them was Jimmy Page.
Wow.
And
I've heard of him.
Yeah, this was right after they had done the Zeppelin remasters, and he was working on he put out a little box set featuring his soundtrack work for like Death Wish 2 or, you know, whatever it was. And they said, don't talk about Zeppelin, which I was perfectly fine with. I'm talking to freaking Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
Right. And they said is the only interview that he was giving for this project. And all I remember about Jimmy Page is, the guy's on the phone, his manager or the guy who's putting things together. And then I hear, hello, Steve, it's Jimmy, right? Totally different than what I expected. I expected more like
he's your best friend.
yeah, but he was like so jovial, and because I think that he was happy. I don't need to talk about Led Zeppelin. I get to talk about this project that just came out. So that was fun. I remember, I'm trying to think of who else. I remember we got me and Jeff Bridges got disconnected, and then he called me back. Oh yeah, sorry about that. It's like I'm going, whoa. I've done videos on my channel that I love, like the Bluebells, which is a band I've been following since the early '80s. I did interview Neil Finn.
Yeah.
From Split Ends and Crowded House. And then I remember telling him at the end of the interview, I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna have to tell you this right now. I tell all my friends this, I'm going to tell you this. I said, you and your brother are ordinary men with extraordinary talents. And he goes, I'll take that.
That's good. Yeah.
Carol Burnett, I got to interview.
Cool.
And she was everything that you would want her to be, because at the end, of course, I always end them. I don't start them this way, but I end them this way just in case they hang up on you. I always start them. I said, look, I tell you, we grew up with you, in our household. And I said, and your personality and your charm and everything reminds me of my mom, and who'd passed by that time, and my aunts. And then she was, she was really touched by that. Well, give my best to your family. And I'm going, it's Carol Burnett. But you see, the thing is, the thing that I'm always nervous up until about 30 seconds into it, because there's a lot of people out there. Like I remember once talking to Chris Squire from Yes. And right when I got on the phone, he's going, is this Steve? And I said, yeah. He goes, hold on. I got to talk to my, press person. And he starts yelling at the press person and saying, the last guy I talked to didn't even get a copy of the new album, hasn't heard the new album. This is journalism 101. You need to provide everyone with the music. Well, he's saying this in a British accent. And he goes, Steve, have you heard the new album? And I said, yes. He goes, thank God. And Don Cornelius from Soul Train. I talked to him during the last years of his life, or the last year of his life. And he was old. And through the whole interview, I'd say, well, what, because this was promoting a Soul Train like DVD reissue set or something. And he was like, going, well, what's it like looking back now? How do you see, Soul Train's, blah, blah, blah. And then he'd go, Can you repeat the question? and then I'd cut the question down. I go, how do you feel about Soul Train? But he was older. I'm not making fun of him at all.
Yeah.
I remember talking to Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because we were talking, this is in between something, like, we were taking a break or we were waiting for something. And then we just started talking movies. And then I said, I brought up Jaws. I said, Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. And he goes, mine too. Yeah, you see, you and me, we got something in common. And I'm going, friggin', I'm right in there with Ice Cube.
Yeah.
So, but it's always fun because I tend to do research a lot of in everything that I do. If I'm going to do my CD Junkie video, usually I do CD Junkie videos. When I focus on an artist, I do it on artists that I already know about. So I don't really have to do research. I always have to write dates, not like I dated Kimberly from 1977 to 1979. No, what I talk about is the year an album came out.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to talk about Split Enz, who one of definitely all-time favorite bands of all time, yeah, right on. They, sometimes I'll get confused with, God, did True Colors come out in 79 or 80, or did Wyata come out in 80 or 81? Sometimes I'll confuse that. So I'll have a list on the computer in front of me with just the album title and the year it came out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will mess that up, and then I'll have to go back and redo the whole video, because oh crap, I said 1980 instead of 81, or whatever. But so all the people are usually pretty happy with the interviews, because I already know what I'm going to talk about. I watch interviews with them and say, avoid that question.
Yeah.
I need to avoid that, because they don't want to hear that same question. Paul McCartney doesn't want to go, just like that Chris Farley interview.
Yeah.
That fake interview on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. That's the kind of questions a lot of people ask.
Yeah.
And you don't want that to happen. You don't want the artist to go, okay, I got to leave. I mean, Johnny Marr, I remember him only having 20 minutes. And at the end of the interview, he told me he wishes it could go on longer, because we were talking about a lot of stuff. I wish I'd interviewed Paul Weller from the Jam. I would love to interview Paul. I would love to interview Bruce Foxton. Of course, there's no interviewing Rick Buckler, because he passed away this year. But the Jam, back in high school, my favorite bands were Split Enz.
Morris, excuse me, Morris, can you keep it quiet, please? Stephen is talking.
Sorry.
Hey, you're getting your $20 worth, Larry.
No, I'm intrigued. I like hearing these types of stories.
See, this is why
I'm gonna have a little nap while you're on. Okay,
this is why I don't go on other people's. This is why I don't go on other people's.
But don't forget, Larry met Sparks. That's pretty special. That is.
Have I ever mentioned that, Stephen? I've met Sparks.
Did I mention that I met Sparks and I've got CDs autographed? And
yeah. Okay, go back to where I saw it.
I met them during the Balls tour.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
I forgot what I was talking about, but I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You're talking about the Jam.
The Jam. Then you're about.
I got a bitchy host.
You're starting to talk about the Knits.
No. Hey, Morris, why don't you tell Larry all about the Jam?
I don't know much about the Jam, unfortunately. There's again so many bands I'm clueless about.
Yeah,
Split Enz, that's what it was. You were talking about.
You know what my favorite Split Enz song is? Seriously, 6 Months in a Leaky Boat. I love that song and the video.
You realize that they were pretty popular in Canada, and
yeah,
of course they had a top 40 hit with "I Got You Here."
Yeah.
I saw them both on the Wyata tour and the Time and Tide tour.
Yeah.
And just you see, okay, Ethan says something there. When I used to wear my Jam shirts in high school, we're talking 80, 81, around there. People go, "Oh, you like the Jam?" I saw him play with the peanut butter.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
How many times have I heard that joke? Hey, Larry, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm so damn charismatic.
Lord.
But you see, I just don't talk. Nobody wants to talk to me. So
you're shy.
Actually, 9 times out of 10, I won't go on anybody's channel because of the fact that I talk way too much.
Yeah.
And you spread that rumor about me, and I end up losing subs.
I like you on my channel, Steve, or I wouldn't invite you. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
we
like to joke around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but Split Enz, I'll tell you that Split Enz box that just now, Larry, when you think about Split Enz, because like I said, they were popular in Canada, more so here, or more so in Canada, which is an inferior country than they
Yeah.
are here in America.
Yeah.
No, actually, I love Canada. Actually, I don't care about Canada. But so what is, like, apart from the hit singles, did you dive into albums at all?
Yeah, I bought. Is it True Colors?
True Colors, yeah.
Yeah, I bought that one. I never really got into the early Split Ends when they were all dressed up crazy. I really do need to check out that music because I'm sure I would like it. But yeah.
I will tell you that I believe that you will, because I've seen your lack of good musical taste change and broaden over the years. So you are way more you're way more open.
I like 3 different artists now.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I think I'm going to turn you on to the 4th. See, and plus I added the green to the background because, just to it's kind of vomit inducing.
Yeah.
But the early ends, I really honestly think that you will enjoy them. No, I haven't interviewed Robert Fripp, although I got close to interviewing one of the guys from the Bears, which featured Adrian Belew. It wasn't him. And that's the closest I got to King Crimson. Yeah, Mental Notes is a great album. Those early albums, Larry, are very progressive in terms of exploratory. You could have a 3-minute song or you could have a 6-minute song. But there's always going to be different. They're going to follow different paths. There's some beautiful ballads. There's some quirky things where you're just going, where the hell is this going? But it's a great musical journey to take if you put the headphones on. How are you, or Larry, how do you feel about Peter Gabriel Genesis, or Peter Gabriel era Genesis?
That's my favorite era of Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Split Ends is along those lines. The early ends.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about the Mental Notes album and the Second Thoughts album. Now, Second Thoughts was released in the U.S. as Mental Notes, which is a little confusing. I don't know if it came out in Canada under Second Thoughts or Mental Notes. So those and that second album was produced by Phil Manzanera from Roxy Music. And then they got a little tiny bit more streamlined with the Dysrhythmia album, and then Frenzy was kind of more of a straight ahead rock album, and then they got into the True Colors, Waiata, Time and Tide. And then there's of course Phil Judd and his band The Swingers, which I don't know if they did anything in Canada, and Crowded House and Tim Finn's solo. So there's a lot to explore, but I would say stick with Split Ends. Maybe go to Spotify, listen to. I think that if you're going to choose between Mental Notes and Second Thoughts, I would think choose Second Thoughts first, because it's produced by Phil Manzanera. The songs are more road tested, and Second Thoughts is almost like they re-recorded half of Mental Notes and then added some new stuff and some fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim Finn is my second favorite male vocalist of all time, behind Elvis Presley.
And so they've reformed, like they're going back on tour now?
Yeah, well, in Australia and New Zealand, they're going to tour, and it's Tim, Neil, Eddie Rayner, who was the keyboard player from the very beginning, Noel Crombie, who was a percussionist from the very beginning, bass player Nigel Griggs, who was with them for many years. I believe he's unwell. He's not doing well health-wise, so they've got another drummer and bassist. Nobody from Tangerine Dream, but I almost did Edgar Froese or whatever, because he's good friends with one of the guys at the company that I work for. But then of course he passed. So it's hard to interview somebody when they've passed away.
Stephen, did you ever interview Donovan?
I did not interview Donovan. Believe it or not, I'm not a huge Donovan fan.
Oh, I love Donovan.
But here's the thing, Larry. Your recent journey into the music of Donovan has inspired me to say, you know what? When I have money or credit or whatever, and I'm going through the used bins and I see those classic Donovan albums, I'll only buy the remastered versions.
Yeah, yeah.
I will pick those up, because I have a best of, or I have two different best ofs. I have that standard greatest hits one, like a remaster, and then I have an Australian one that has more tracks on it.
Yeah.
That's on Raven Records. So, but I
Same
don't
here.
have
I'll
any
be
of the
checking-
studio.
I'll be looking at the bins for any Donovan or anything that was mentioned here tonight. Yeah, I'll be checking that stuff out.
See, the wonderful thing, that Morris, that Larry, him being so close-minded, one of the great things, yeah. When he said, when that person said 110,
Hey, Stephen, I can be sarcastic to you, but you can't be sarcastic to me.
shut up, Larry. But the what was that? The great thing about music is regardless what anybody says, there's always great new music being made. Maybe not on the same level as Split Enz or Crowded House or the Beatles or the Bee Gees or whoever. You got to get main course, Larry.
Yeah.
But then again, they might be on that same level.
Yeah.
We just haven't discovered them. Or, there's tons of bands, modern bands I listen to. But the great thing is as long as you keep your mind open, we're all going to miss stuff.
Yeah.
We are. My favorite era of music is the 80s, basically 77 to 86. It's my favorite era. And I tried to buy everything that I could. And then, once, of course, I got older, I never grew up. So I went back to buying a bunch of stuff that I missed. And excuse me, I'm dying of cancer. I'm sorry if that's a joke. I'm sorry if anyone's suffering from that. I didn't think about that.
Cancer jokes are just, they're the best.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I do apologize. But the thing is it's so great to go back and just experience stuff that you missed while moving forward. There are many people who are totally 100% content with what they have. I should be 100% content with this. Remember, this extends there into the closet, all along the wall here, and
Impressive.
stacks up on top, and
Impressive.
But see, the thing is it's always great to discover something, and then I use my channel to share that. Not to say, hey, look what I've got. I use my channel to say, check this band out, man. I won't go on my channel and talk about something I don't like, like Larry does.
I act like I like it.
I
I just want to look hip.
Yeah. When's the last time you bought a Sparks album? Yeah. The last one you bought was Music You Can Dance.
I don't listen to them the last 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. See, isn't that the great thing is there are people who love the 80s stuff. Like me. That's my favorite period.
Yeah.
Basically, let's just go back to Terminal Jive and go up to Pulling Rabbits Out of a Hat. That's my favorite period right there. There are people who loved them in the Half Nelson days.
Yep.
There are people who love them in the Sparks Island Records days. And there are people who love them now. The thing is they appeal to so many people. They're like Larry. There are people who love them from beginning to end. There are some people who only bought stuff and don't realize or have not even heard a Sparks album since 1988 or 89.
Yeah.
They haven't heard anything since the single Just Got Back from Heaven came out, or whatever. And that's okay, because they love what they love. And as long as you love what you love, you don't have to feel bad that you didn't buy the last 47 Sparks albums.
Yeah.
But jump into it, give it a shot. If you don't like it, that's okay. You can still love Cool Places and popularity and all that stuff.
So this question here, Stephen, just tell us all 400 of the people you've interviewed.
Definitely nobody from Anekdoten. And definitely not Annette. I would have loved to have interviewed Annette. She was my first crush back in, but we're talking back in the beach blanket days,
Funicello.
Yep, absolutely.
Have you interviewed any of the Beach Boys?
I did an email interview with Brian Wilson. Obviously, someone else answered for him.
Still cool.
Yeah. And plus, my friend Darian played in the Brian Wilson band, and now he plays in I think he plays in the Al Jardine band. I loved it when Sparks became really popular in the 80s, because they were on Saturday Night Live. They were on American Bandstand. That was in the days of the big oversized lame suits or whatever, the sparkly suits, or Russell wearing the oversized suit, and they were just everywhere there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And oh no, I will never interview
Unleash the Love.
Yeah.
If you interview Mike Love, he might tell you that he co-wrote Good Vibrations.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure he'll probably tell me he co-wrote half of side 2 of Abbey Road, But I do remember listening to old Beatles bootlegs, and then there was that one, I think from 68, when they sing "Happy Birthday, Mike Love." Have you ever heard that little bootleg thing? It was a song that they sang to Mike Love.
Yeah.
I don't think it was actually like they went to the studio and recorded. I think it was more sitting around with acoustic guitars playing it. So, yeah, I mean, Beatles is my favorite band of all time, but there's too many people talking about them.
I'm sorry about that, Stephen.
No, I'm not referring to you, because, the Beatles is only 95% of your channel.
Do you ever get viewers telling you not to talk about a certain band like I do? Enough Beatles.
Well, I didn't even have any Beatles for all my life until the last year and a half. I basically just went nuts and bought every Beatle album I could find or get,
I still think the most underrated Beatles album is Hotel California. But there was somebody on one of my live ski lodge streams. I think it was live. No. I think it was a show where I may have brought up some people, or I don't remember, but somebody just, yes, I did do an interview. I interviewed Andy Summers. But I did do somebody came up and made a comment on my stream and says, "Oh my God, I've been here 5 minutes and nobody's mentioned the Beatles," or something. Hallelujah. Whatever. Oh, no. I've been here. I've been up here 5 minutes and nobody's said the word anthology. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I've been told. See, here's the thing. You're always told, like, "Oh, don't interview that guy. Don't interview that guy, because this guy's a dick. This guy." So I get worried sometimes.
Yeah.
But since I'm always, like, again, this isn't a bragging thing, but since I'm always prepared to talk about that subject, an artist, when they sit down on the phone for their record label and they're talking to people for 20 minutes, 5-minute break, 20 minutes, 5 minutes break, they don't want to go through their whole history. They're there to promote whatever new album is out.
Yeah. And you help. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to give them that respect. With Andy Summers, he thankfully was promoting a police documentary. So we talked for 20, 25 minutes on a police documentary. I did Jackson Browne. I was supposed to have 20 minutes. And he goes, "You know what? You were the last interview of the day. I'm having a good time. Keep it going." And we talked for an hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm trying to think of there was nobody who was bad. Well, I remember interviewing Vicki Lawrence.
Now,
And
Morris doesn't even know who Vicki Lawrence is.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I used to watch the Carol Burnett show all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Growing up.
She was promoting The Mama's Family, and she had just also released, or there was a 2 CD set that had just come out that featured like 2 of her albums on one disc or whatever. So we talked about Mama's Family, and then I brought up, I said, well, you've got this CD that features these 2 albums. And then she just goes, I don't want to talk about it. That's not a very good time in my life. Right. And I go, oh, okay. I just thought you might want to promote it. That was a very bad time in my life, and I don't want to talk about it. And after that, she was a bee with an itch. But thankfully, I was basically just wrapping things up. And she, that was like probably the worst experience. But when I interviewed Slash, they told me, do not bring up Guns N' Roses, do not bring up Velvet Revolver, right? He spent 75% of the interview talking about Guns N' Roses and Velvet Revolver, you know?
Yeah.
So it's always a crapshoot, but like I said, you treat them with respect, and you don't bring an ego. I mean, if anybody's got an ego, it's Larry, but you don't bring ego.
You don't make anything about yourself or
absolutely
or what you want to ask them, right? Like,
yes,
you want it. You're promoting whatever they're promoting.
Yes.
And like I've interviewed Paul McCartney's guitarist Brian Ray.
Yeah, that was horrible.
There were times.
No, I'm kidding.
There was another YouTube channel that was interested in interviewing him too, right? But he's leery, right? Because he knows some of these other YouTube channels, they just want the glory. I'm interviewing, you know what I mean? Like, they make it about themselves, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
see, okay, here's an honest thing that I think Mazzy or the Wax. No, it was the Wax that said this. Interviews just don't do well on the on any channel, unless of course you're interviewing Paul McCartney or somebody of that stature. I don't know. Okay, Larry, what's your opinion on this, Steve?
Michael have inspired all of the way. Is this what he's talking? Sorry. Is that what he's talking about?
No, I think it's different people. Yeah, it's different people.
Okay.
Oh, Cara Burnett twin, which is funny because no, I did not interview Bob Marley or Peter Tosh. Have I interviewed anybody reggae wise? I'm trying to think. No, not that I would not. I mean, I've done liner notes for about 40 CDs, and almost all of them were high energy disco, R&B, or disco. I did a liner notes for the Walter Murphy Band, the Fifth of Beethoven album, whatever that's called. And that's not music that I normally would buy, right? But when you're thrown into a situation and they say, hey, can you do the liner notes for this? We'll pay you this much. Money usually says, you know what? Yeah, I kind of like that group.
I like this music.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to the interviews, Larry, as you said, you have to focus on the art. Now, if it might be a little looser on a YouTube channel, but the company that I work for, usually the artist is promoting a certain album. And then, yeah, as you said, you have to respect them. Oh, you can definitely love the Beatles and the Stones. Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
I'm a huge Beatles fan throughout their entire career.
Yep.
The solo years, I get a little spotty, but the Beatles themselves, whereas the Rolling Stones, I believe they've outlasted their welcome in terms of recording. But my favorite era of the of the Rolling Stones. Now, I love an album like Between the Buttons and basically Between the Buttons on, when they were writing when they were writing more for themselves, as opposed to just doing blues covers and stuff. But I especially love the early Rolling Stones records, the Goat's Head Soup. Some Girls is my favorite Stones album. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, give me $100,000 and Fred Durst, you rock. No, but I see. This is the thing. I will never go on to my channel and talk about something I'm not passionate about. So let's say Larry says, "Hey, my friend Chuckles the Clown needs a little promotion here. I've got his new album. It's called Barking Out of My Butt. Can you go up and give it a good review, and we'll give you $100?" I will unfortunately have to turn down that $100, and then you
I'm there.
because I know that I don't have a lot of subscribers. I mean, I'm very, very glad to have just broken the 4,000 mark. Very pleased, but I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to lie to you guys. I might lie to Morris. No. I'll definitely lie to Larry. Oh, I love your channel, Larry. But yeah, I think people are drawn to honesty. So I do focuses on labels on my channel sometimes, like, hey, here's new releases and forthcoming releases. And
Okay, Stephen, you can go now. You got your subscriber.
Okay, I got my subscriber.
Thanks for dropping by.
Okay. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Morris. I've been kicked to the curb again. Don't worry.
I've been subscribed for a while.
No, I know. Yeah, I've just been watching you. I didn't watch your new one about the new mic, but I've been watching you with talking into the globe. Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. So I'll stop talking. I got my subscriber.
My favorite album is Steel Wheels. Yeah.
My friend has a theory. Like, okay, Larry, what's your favorite Stones album?
It changes. I think probably Sticky Fingers, but I also love their Satanic Majesty's Request.
Satanic Majesty's Request.
Yep.
Yes, I know about the. Yeah. So, were either of those released when you were in college? Because I know you're pretty damn old. Or high school, maybe.
No.
Okay.
I was like, 10 years old when those came out.
No, those came out quite a few years apart.
Well, Satanic came out in 67? So it was 9 years old.
Okay, you're 9 years old. Okay. Because and what's the first one you said that you liked?
Sticky Fingers. It was
okay. That was 71, right?
71, yeah.
Okay. Because one of my friends has a theory that usually the Stones album that you tend to like is the one that you heard when you were in high school and maybe in college. And I was in high school when Some Girls came out. Terry Jacks, Poppy Family.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Written by Rod McEwen.
Of course.
Do you guys like Rod McEwen? I love Rod McEwen.
I haven't really heard him.
I have a Rod McEwen friggin' box set from Bear Family.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. But I opened it up, after I bought it for a really good price. And the hardcover book inside of it is autographed by Rod.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I love Can. I especially love the I don't mind the Malcolm Mooney stuff. Sometimes he could sing off key, which was
a little fun.
But I really love the Damo Suzuki stuff.
Yeah, Future Days.
Yeah, Future Days, Tago Mago, E.G. Bamiasi. But I also like the stuff after Damo left.
Yeah.
Like Flow Motion and Landed and things like that. Oh, I would love to interview Hamill or Steve Hackett. I've never been a big Van de Graaff generator. I was gonna
Yeah.
I was gonna say Graham Central Station. No, I've never been a big Van de Graaff generator fan, but I've enjoyed them enough. And then of course Steve Hackett, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Lost Tapes I enjoyed. I'm not a big fan of live albums. How do you
No.
guys feel about live albums overall?
I've heard it's good, the Lost Tapes, but I prefer, I'm a studio album
Yeah.
guy overall.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, the way I always look at it is, no, you guys don't want to hear the way I look at it because I end up talking too much. Why don't you guys go ahead and talk? I'm sorry for bringing this stream to a higher level. Let's lower the bar a little bit. Larry, go ahead and talk.
Morris, what do you have to say?
I don't know. I don't have any opinion about that.
Live album? How do you feel about live albums overall, Morris?
I do like live albums, actually.
I do.
Lately, I've been listening to like the two live albums I've been listening to a lot is Live After Death, Iron Maiden, and Ozzy Osbourne tribute. For some reason, I love those. I love those. So I've been listening to those. I've loved the live album ever since Kiss Alive. It was like for me one of the greatest live albums of that time. Well, I'm just a little kid, of course, but it blew my mind. It was so good. The first time I heard the live version of Rock and Roll All Night, yeah, it was. I love live albums. We'd get more for sure.
When I was younger, I enjoyed live albums. I was enjoying Wings Over America. Of course, I'm more familiar with the Frampton Comes Alive version of some of his songs than the actual studio versions. I'm more familiar with a few songs, to a certain level, I was more familiar with versions of songs off of At Budokan over the Cheap Trick studio albums. That, of course, changed in time after the live albums came out. I had a bunch of Elvis live albums, but to me, it's more like oh, okay, that's nice. And then I move on. If I buy, like right now, there's a band I'm ripping because I lost a lot of files last year. So I'm ripping a band's catalog right now. And if they have a bonus disc that's all live, or if they have a live album, I won't rip it. Yeah. I'm never going to listen to it.
Where is it?
Unless, of course, there's a radical rearrangement or there's a song that isn't available elsewhere.
Yeah.
Now, I like a little known band called Belle and Sebastian, right?
Mm-hmm. From Scotland. I met Stevie Jackson from that band. I met Stevie Jackson, bass player.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Well, I had bought this originally it's the BBC sessions, right? I bought this originally just for the album, but then didn't I see this again with a live album that my other copy didn't have? So I ended up giving my brother the other copy of this, and as soon as I saw it has a live album, I had to get it. I love when you can find something like this with live albums on it.
How come you didn't give the original one to Larry?
Well, I didn't know Larry at the time. This was
that's a great excuse.
The very first song of the live album stuff here is they do a great cover of Here Comes the Sun.
Oh, cool. Schnee, you have a question.
I'm not that much into Chrome. Was it Damon Edge is in that band? I think the first time I heard Chrome must have been the first or second album. And I think it was a little bit too out there for me at that time. And I've never gone back. Yeah. Same thing with Tuxedo Moon, Penguin Cafe Orchestra. I'm not comparing the bands, but these are things that were, I love the Residents, as Larry's a fan of the Residents. Love the Residents basically 74 to 84. That's like the most avant-garde I'll get. But when it turns into noise rock without melody, because melody is the thing that I go for.
What you like the Bee Gees, right?
Love the Bee Gees.
What What would you consider their best 60s album?
I mean, it's got to be one of the first three that came out on the major label, because they had stuff in Australia.
Yeah.
But when they moved over to the US, they had like Bee Gees' First, Idea, and whatever.
Horizontal.
Yeah, Horizontal. But then I was gonna say Exodus, but it's not Exodus. It's
Odessa.
Yeah, Odessa. I don't think that that's as great as anybody or a lot of people say. I think it's a great attempt at what they were doing, but I think they were falling apart at that time. And so it's a little bit disjointed, because I think Robin left after that, and then they recorded one album as
Cucumber Castle.
Yeah, Cucumber Castle. But then I think if you go through the early 70s, basically before Mr. Natural.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like them. No. Before Mr. Natural, if you listen to those albums, the albums are ballad heavy. I mean, they were really into the ballads. They wrote one of the most beautiful songs ever written, which is "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart." That ties with "Fanny Be Tender with My Love" off Main Course as my favorite Bee Gees song. But they were an incredible band, even when people say that they weren't.
Yep.
People overlooked the early 70s. They listened to the hits, of course, like How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, things like that they had, hits with during the early 70s. But the albums were phenomenal, emotional. Robin's Rain is a good album, which is his solo album that he released at the same time as Cucumber Castle, or around the same time. Or was it called Robin's Rain, or was that called?
Yeah, Robin's Rain.
Okay. I have like a 2 or 3 CD set that has that album plus his unreleased second solo album, blah, blah. Yeah, Lonely Days is another great song. But when you go back and you listen to each of their eras, they're brilliant in what they did. I will admit that I don't like the album. There's one of the disco albums, or I'm sorry to say, and it's not because it's disco. I just don't think the songs are as good. And I think it might be, which is the one? It was the one after Saturday Night Fever.
Spirits Having Flown?
Was that Spirits Having Flown? Which is the one before? Sometimes I get those confused. The Spirits Having Flown, and then the other one where they're all discoed out.
Yeah.
Open shirts and all that kind of crap. One of those albums I didn't like as a full album, but then even in the 90s, they were just writing brilliant songs. But what I noticed about the 90s records, and I don't know if anyone's a fan enough to have heard those sound like maybe per album they did 2 or 3 songs together, and the rest of it was like maybe Robin working on his own or with Morris, and then Barry working on his own or with Morris. It didn't sound, not every song sounded like it had all the Bee Gees on it. So it sounded like a couple Bee Gees and then some solo stuff. And then each year.
But even some of their dance music from the 70s, when you really listen to it and the production, there's sometimes heavy guitar on it. It's just, the production is amazing, right?
Absolutely.
And I don't consider it just straight disco, boring music. It's, they knew what they were doing, right?
Remember, to them, it was R&B.
Yeah.
They were creating R&B music, and it's everybody else that called it disco.
It's the falsetto. It can be hit or miss with some people. Some people might gravitate towards that falsetto. I know when I first heard the Bee Gees, I wasn't crazy for that falsetto, but then I rediscovered the Bee Gees and it's like, whoa, that was a Bee Gees song. That was a Bee Gees song. I had no idea. So I'm rediscovering the old stuff,
Yeah.
and want to get more of the old stuff. But I'm warming up to that disco stuff now. I mean, I'm much more comfortable with
But it's not
falsetto,
really
especially
disco.
when you
It's
Russell and others like him. So,
okay.
yeah.
I need to answer this question again. Hey, Larry, did you and Glenn have a falling out? Yes, we're no longer on speaking terms. It's just like me and Steven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today we were friends, and after this live chat, we're no longer friends.
Exactly.
This is the way it goes.
I mean, I think that Larry smells like rotten feet. Now, okay, here's a theory here. On Main Course, they have a song called Fanny Be Tender. Yeah, Living Eyes is, I think, really good.
Was the album Living Eyes?
Yeah, Living Eyes is
Yeah.
kind of the last album.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good album. I thought that was a good album because they were going back to, hey, we're going to write some songs again. Let's sort of tone down that R&B that everyone calls disco and all that kind of stuff. But on Main Course, which is an incredible album from I love the new romantic stuff. Spandau Ballet, Duran Duran, Visage, Culture Club came out of that scene, Classics Nouveau, all that stuff. But if you listen to the song Fanny Be Tender With My Love off of Main Course by the Bee Gees, absolutely incredibly wonderful song. Everything about it is fantastic, except Fanny. And I think that's what stopped it from being a hit in America, especially because everyone thinks of Fanny as a behind.
Mm-hmm.
So the song is called Fanny, and then parentheses, Be Tender With My Love. If they had just changed it to Baby, like Baby Be Tender or Honey Be Tender or whatever, I think everyone would know it the minute I said the song title. But I think little things like that hold it back. And that was before they really became big. This is an album that had Jive Talking.
But luckily they changed it from Bitch, Be Tender With Your Love.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the original title of the song.
Or you some bitch, be tender with my love. But yeah, it's I mean, I have theories about why, but they're just theories, speculation, whatever. They make sense to me. But then again, I think I just sort of convinced myself that I know something about music when I really don't.
And speaking of knowing music, Stephen and I like a band that probably 95% of you out there have never heard of. Deaf School.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell them about Deaf School, Steve.
Liverpool band. Actually, they ended up they're very influential with a lot of people who came out of the 80s. Now, the interesting thing about Deaf School is it's like art rock is basically what it is. If you are a fan of early Roxy music, Sparks from that period, from 70s, mid 70s, etc., bands like that who are very creative. The music is very exploratory, but it's still very fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of melody. And they put out three albums, I think, Larry?
Yeah, at first, yeah.
Yeah, at first they put out 3 albums.
My favorite is the third one, English Boys. What's that? English Boys. I forgot.
Hold on.
English Boys. No, Working Girls. English Boys, Working Girls.
Here are the 3 albums there.
Yeah. Show the band shot on the back of the third album, because that kind of shows their personalities. Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah, and I will tell you that Betty Bright was the female vocalist here. She actually put out some solo stuff after they initially broke up, and she ended up marrying Suggs from Madness.
Madness, yeah.
And then Clive Langer was a guitar player I'm just looking at the picture to try to recognize him. Clive Langer was a guitar player. He ended up being a producer for a lot of artists, including
Elvis Costello and
Elvis Costello, most of Madness's catalog. It was Clive Langer and Alan Winstanley. And then Steve Allen, or Enrico Cadillac is what he was known here. But he actually formed a band called Original Mirrors.
Yep.
And in Original Mirrors was a guitar player named Ian Brody. And Ian Brody went on to produce a lot of people and form the Lightning Seeds. It's a family tree type stuff. Yeah, very, very, very cool. Now, they did reunite, and up on the top shelf there, I have their reunion albums, and they still sound great.
Yeah.
Very creative, very artistic. I love Lena Lovitch.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, there is a box set on Cherry Red called Toy Box that features all her stiff recordings, including A-sides, B-sides, things like that. And Hazel O'Connor, who had a stroke a few years ago, who is no longer recording, but she's slowly recovering. Very Bowie-esque type stuff. She had that movie Breaking Glass, if you guys haven't seen that. And her stuff was produced by Tony Visconti. The cover of one of her albums was done by the same guy who did, I think it was Cover to Cover was the name of the album, or it could be Sons and Lovers. It was done by the same guy who did like Scary Monsters by Bowie. Mm-hmm. And I think that Lena Lovitch is a little wackier than her, but I do love the Hazel O'Connor stuff. I have like up until her album Smile, which was produced by Martin Rushent, who produced a lot of great stuff back then too. Mm-hmm. So see, I got all this nerdy stuff. I can't remember. It's like I'm supposed to be over my family's Christmas gathering in about 2 hours or whatever. And no, I never interviewed Frank Zappa or anybody related. But it's like I can remember the B-side of the single from 1982 or something. The length of that song. Yeah. I'm an idiot. But I'm sorry for dominating, folks. I know it can be annoying.
And I'm just joking that's the thing about what is it called? Dry humor, where you're serious, but you're just joking. And people, some obviously, right? If they don't know me or they're, oh my God, that guy's obnoxious or he's rude. I mean, I'm talking about you, Stephen.
Yeah, of course, me. Oh, of course I'm obnoxious. I've been told that for years. I've been told, oh God, trust me, I've been told I'm obnoxious. I've been told I have the worst taste in music, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Tony Visconti freaking produced Bowie. He produced some really cool Boomtown Rats.
He produced a band called Sparks.
Yeah, and he produced T-Rex, a bunch of stuff.
A comment for me. You have a lot of knowledge. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, Larry, the guy. Yeah.
You're an influencer, Stephen.
Oh, I'm not an influencer. I'm just an idiot. But thank you, though. I mean, trust me, Larry, I get texts from Larry every morning. Remember, Schnee, you're an idiot. Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think Larry was obnoxious until he started paying me to watch his content.
Right. Same here, man. Same here.
Gentle Giant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tony Visconti, he was also married to Mary Hopkin for a while.
Yep. Mm. And he's a good bass player too.
And then he was married to May Pang, right?
Was he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But you guys will be able to tell me. Maybe I'm getting him confused with.
I'll ask Tony when I interview him.
Yeah. Steve Lillywhite was a great producer. He produced anything from XTC to Big Country to, and then he was married to Kirsty McCall.
What do you consider the best produced album of all time? Like the best sounding album you've ever heard?
That's difficult for me to say. And the reason is because I was born with hearing issues and vision issues. So I don't hear all frequencies, all highs and all lows. I can walk outside and not hear birds chirping. Oh. But if I grab my phone And if I hold it up and just hit record and then play it back, I can hear the birds chirping. But in my real range, I can't hear it. So it's hard for me to say, but I would, first thing I go to is like Abbey Road.
Mhm.
But I will also go to something like my favorite album of all time, which is Badfinger's Wish You Were Here, which is structured very much like very much like Abbey Road in many ways.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more tighter. It's not as spacious as Abbey Road is. I love the production of Roxy Music Avalon. It's a very beautifully produced album. I love the sound of the drums on the Clash London Calling. I think that's a very well produced album. The balance on that is
Yeah.
great. But overall, it's difficult for me to say because I'm not hearing it with the same ears that you guys hear things in.
Mhm.
You know.
Now, I have a couple of albums I feel are my two that I own that are the best sounding albums I ever heard. And the first one, the first one would be Suzanne Vega,
Mm-hmm.
her debut album.
Yeah.
Because I have this this remastering 96 kilohertz 24-bit, right? When I play
Mhm.
this on my stereo, it sounds like she's right in the room with me.
Mhm.
You know, like this too is the same thing. Solitude Standing, like especially Tom's Diner, because it's just her voice only. It cuts through everything, and you don't hear a peep. You don't hear nothing in the background. It's just her voice only.
Mhm.
It's crazy. It's crazy how well these are recorded. And
Well,
these are the only two albums that I own. You got to see this.
the first album, by the way, I remember when that came out. I was working for a distributor back then, and that's the album with Marlena on the Wall, right? The
Yes,
first album?
yes.
Yeah. I remember when that came out, and that was the song that I thought, oh, this is a great song.
Here's the label. Looks exactly like the album, you know.
Yeah.
And they are the only two black CDs I own. They're black.
Hold up the label again. I think it's Culture, or I mean the Obi thing that came with it, the little strip.
The little strip, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Culture Factory. Bring it closer.
Oh wait, can you see?
Yeah, I can see, but I can't see that might be the Culture Factory label, whatever. And they put out a bunch of albums like that. Like I've got most of the Romantics albums with that black label, stuff like that. That's what that label, or that's what they were known for, is putting out albums that kind of were reproductions of the original albums. I think all the Motels albums I have.
It says LMLR.
Yeah. Not
in
yeah,
that
not quite
little
sure.
in that little balloon there thing there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it's not Culture Factory, but they were doing the same thing. So, but yeah, I love when they do that stuff.
But yeah, these are the best sounding albums I've ever heard. Yeah, by far.
Larry's bored. He's contemplating getting back together with Glenn.
I should have ended this an hour ago.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm having a blast.
And Morris just got Pet Sounds, and he got a really good CD, the one from 2016.
The 40.
Oh, cool.
He's never heard all of
45th anniversary.
Cool.
So that's it has stereo, mono, and instrumental and live stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm very soon will be.
Suzanne Vega, Zeb.
Yeah.
I've never heard
Vega any day.
Yeah, I've never heard Pet Sounds, and I've never heard Abbey Road.
Really?
No, I have.
Jeepers.
I want to make a video, like first time listening, right?
Yeah.
And and actually, like, just this is the first time I'm listening, and then start singing along with the song. see if anybody catches that.
I've done this series in the past. Does this album suck? Right? And at one point, I haven't done it recently, but at one point I was doing like Abbey Road and The Dark Side of the Moon and being
Yeah.
serious, right? And saying at the end that they sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always
It's when the
fun.
people think that you're actually being serious too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But you know what? I do have to go because it is family
Well, I have to
Christmas
go
day.
too, Stephen. So let's all go
Mhm.
together.
Well, you
Morris,
know what, Larry? Larry, why don't you come hang out with my family for Christmas? My
well,
brother Mike.
do you have gluten-free food?
Free food.
No, gluten-free food.
Sure. I'll tell you it's gluten free.
I'll be there.
Okay. Yeah. We have gluten free water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll have to do it. We'll have to do this again sometime.
We'll have to do this again next year. Like
yeah, exactly.
near the end of the year next year.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry for ruining your stream again, Larry.
Stephen, tell us about your channel quickly. Seriously.
Stephen Schnee, the CD junkie, and I talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I'll have videos called CD Junkie where I go through a band's catalog and I feature medleys. So you'll always be able to hear some information, and then you're going to be able to hear little snippets of the songs. And I got tons of series going on. So,
He's much better on his channel than in this live chat.
but
So
guess what?
check him out.
Even if I was just barfing on my channel, it's much better than watching Larry. But I will say that I did a video to for the Mavericks and Raul Malo, and I posted that video. Something told me, because I was going to do it like this weekend. I was going to make the video this weekend. Something told me, no, you need to get this done. You need to get this done. I posted it roughly within an hour after Raul Malo passed away, and they didn't even announce it to the next day.
Wow.
So unfortunately, it looks like I'm trying to cash in,
Yeah.
but in the video, I'm talking about pray for him or, hold him up, in your thoughts or whatever. So anyway, yeah, definitely check out my channel. I'm boring as hell.
Yeah. When will Schnee rank and review Canadian Studmuffin's discography?
Probably right after I pass a stone.
And Morris, your channel, quickly mention it.
It's under my name,
No,
Morris
I said
Gautreau.
quickly. I said quickly, Morris.
Jesus.
It's under my name, Morris Gautreau. I talk about music and
I
other
forgot
stuff
Morris was
here
here.
and there. Go check it out. I'm
Don't
trying to make a good
Morris,
playlist of
don't
stuff to watch.
overtalk when somebody's talking. It's rude.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go
I don't
again,
mean
Morris.
to.
We're just joking.
I've
Go
been
ahead.
blabbing this whole time, and not giving you guys a chance to talk.
Morris,
What's your channel?
damn you. Damn you all to hell.
Tell us about your channel, Morris.
Well, it's about
Morris has a channel?
about my interest mostly, which is mainly a good 70-80% about music. Every once in a while, I might stick on a little bit of another topic, but I always try to come back to music positive, trying to give, promoting humanity, promoting, love, joy, happiness, and all good positivity stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff and you want to see a real person and not, fake AI, come see me.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds like Morris is throwing shade on me.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I know.
He beat you with that promo. Everybody's
I
going
know.
to his channel.
But I agree with that last comment. You should be checking out the Great Balancing Act. They've done some stuff.
You would like them, Stephen.
They've done some stuff for Larry. They've taken some of Larry's lyrics and they made some great songs.
Oh,
out of it.
I did hear something by them, and I thought it was pretty good. But I'm going to get it confused with the Balancing Act, which was an actual band that put out a couple albums in the late '80s, I think. So,
but no, these guys are they're better because they're the Great Balancing Act. They're not a balancing act.
They're not the Balancing Act. They're the
Act.
Great Balancing Act.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I will say though, Larry, before you interrupt everybody and ruin the flow, I believe that it's always, just like Morris was kind of alluding to, I think it's always great to maintain a sense of positivity in a world that sometimes just wants to rip off your head and shit down your neck. And that's why, we're laughing together, You know what I mean? And we're laughing at Larry's channel. So that's
Thank
it.
you, Stephen. Thank you, Morris.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. This is fun.
Until next time, although there might not be a next time.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
you
will
know,
be.
I just want to start talking now and just drag this on and on and on.
Well said, Stephen.
All right. Thank you, Larry. Thank you
Okay.
thank you for letting me come on.
Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you,
joining us
Morris.
here.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
We'll do this again. Bye.
Bye.